Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the topic transportation of timber, and it is divided into three parts as we'll discuss in the upcoming slides. And the very first type is land transport of timber. Okay, as we know, the transportation of extracted converted material or unconverted material is a very tedious job, or as we found here that it consume around 60 to 70% of total cost for delivery of the material to the market, or it need some more care also, or more systematic procedure also to construct roads, firstly to construct roads, then as per the prevailing condition of topographic nature of that area, certain specific type of transport system is applicable only, and thus it consume this much of amount of total input cost of timber till it reaches to the market. Okay, and as we found here, the timber extraction is permanently and fundamentally a problem of transportation and moving the bulky and heavy products of the forest, logs, converted timber from the forest to the sawmills or further conversion or to the ultimate markets. Okay, the transport constitutes around 60 to 70% of total input cost for delivery of the products in the market, right? Adequate control of the transport charges is therefore most importance, and the method of transport should therefore be chosen with great care, as I have mentioned earlier also, and the expense should be kept at minimum. Okay, wood is extremely heavy and bulky commodity in the proportion of its value. Moreover, transportation costs are relatively higher due to its weight or due to its size also. Transport of timber from the stump to its final destination, that is market or consuming centers, may be divided into two parts. Okay, the number one is minor transport, as it is also called off-road transport, and the next one is major transport, that is on-road transport. Okay, on road or shipways or dockyards or by air, everything is there. Okay, that is main or major transportation, right? Minor of these, the minor transport consists in assembling logs or converted material together at a common point within the forest near the felling site or around the felling site to the points of loading or launching for major transportation. Okay, and eventually transportation to the final destination. Minor transportation is the most important item of work in logging operations. Okay, in the forest, sometime more than 50% of the logging costs are consumed by this single item alone, as mentioned in earlier slide also, 60 to 70, but whole logging operations cost is consumed by this transportation means. Now we comes to choice of method. What type of method should or to be adopted, that will depend upon several factors, or these are mentioned here. Before deciding on what method of transport should adopt, or availability of changing an existing method to a number of, for this a number of important considerations have to be taken into account, and their relative values balanced against each other. Okay, the more important of these considerations are mentioned here, as number one is cost. The cheapest one method is most preferable, as well assumed. It is feasible if the change of method is contemplated. A careful comparison of the cost of existing and preferred method must be made, right? Capital expenditure, if any, must be considered, and the amount of produce available estimated also. The working maintenance and direct charges may be found by spreading the cost over the estimated output. Finally, depreciation and possibly interested charges may also be considered during uh, deciding the choice of any particular specific method. Then we comes to next criterion or next factor, that is loss and damage to produce during transport. A slight saving in the direct cost of transport by introducing a new method may be offset by the increased loss or damage involved in it. Okay, sometime water transport made dangerous for some species, sometime aerial transport made dangerous for some species, sometime this skidding or sliding are dangerous, or breaking or cracking are occurs therein. Any method which reduces the loss or damage is to be recommended for finalization during this transport operation. Okay, now we comes to the methods of transportation. There are various methods on the basis of prevailing topographical features, or it also we depend upon the nature of species. Sometime some species are preferably transported on the land only, then sometimes some species are transported by or produced by traveled by water transportation, and some are by overhead transport system. Okay, the main factors those are carefully reviewed in selecting any of these or combination of these methods best adapted are as under. Okay, total volume of timber available per unit area species wise. Okay, then size of sawmill or market to be served with daily and annual volume of the log supply. Okay, that also be the influencing factor for deciding any of these methods. Topography of the tract, as I have mentioned several times in this note. Okay, or outlets of the timber, right? Available transportation facilities, road, stream or others, that will influence the choosing or deciding any of these methods right herein. Okay, then we comes finally to number one method, that is land transport, or that is also known as minor transport. Or before discussing these one by one, as not mentioned here, the first one from my side is transportation of material or logs or converted or non-converted material by animals or by humans also. So humans transport are by hand or human soldiers or human backs. Okay, that is one method. Then by the animals, that is dragging or on their back also, animal backs like a camel, like elephant, like mules, like pony, like horses. Okay, these are some animals, those are used for local transport for dragging purpose, or sometimes the loads are carried on their backs also. Okay, that is number one from my side, that is off-road transport from conversion site to the main road site. Okay, that is done by these methods if other methods are not possible in that area or that locality. So here we discuss these land transport or minor transport one by one. So, number one I have already discussed, and next is carts, transport by cart, or it is carrying by men and animals, operated by men and animals, especially in the shorter distances for timber, both in log and converted forms. Okay, a cart has two low wheels which has the advantage of easy mobility and going directly to the filling area. Okay, the cart is hauled either by a single bullock or by a pair, or even in the teams of oxes. Okay, there are various forms and types of carts met within the country in different localities. They have been forerunners of the motor trucks, which are becoming more and more in use with the development of improved. Okay, they have been the forerunners of the motor trucks, as the motor trucks will only use on main road transport, which are becoming more and more in use with the development of improved roads. As the roads are started, then the trucks will be used only. They are slowly being replaced, but are found in nearly all the forest area in the plains, okay, and from an important means of transport of timber over short and long distances, and not only for timber but various other purposes also in the localities of this uh, forest areas type of things, okay. Then we have next method of minor transport, that is dragging. And dragging is generally employed on roads which are specially constructed for the purpose. In order to facilitate dragging, round billets are placed in the front of logs to act as rollers, okay. Chains, fiber ropes, hooks and iron rings are used as dragging attachments, okay. It is not an efficient method also, being very destructive to the road surface and causes damage to timber also during operation, right. Then we have next method, that is skidding, or nowadays a tractor is considered as an indispensable machine in mechanized logging, right. It is being used for all road transportation in addition to various other forestry operations, right. Like that transportation of seedling, transportation of farmyard manure, transportation of seed and various other equipments also for forestry operation, various forestry operation purposes, right. The skidding tractors are generally provided with winches and tongues to make it suitable for logging operation under the prevailing topographical conditions, right. The crawler type of tractor is found difficult to maintain and except for skidding of heavy logs, they have not proved useful, right. While on the other hand, wheeled tractors are used favorably under different terrains for skidding of light logs. A good skidding tractor should have sufficiently high powers, like 30 to 80 HP and a dead weight of 2 to 4 tons of whole equipment, tractor including material also, right. And then we have next method of minor or road transport, that is land transport. We are talking here about land transport actually. Next one is road and railways, okay. Since 1940, the motor trucks have been greatly improved in power or efficiency also, and with better and more frequent hard surface roads, it has become the most important means of timber transportation, right. Its use is rapidly expanding and the truck transport is increasing in our country especially, right. It is being extensively used in all the forests of plain region and even in the hilly tract also, wherever the roads there, okay, where roads are being constructed, right. It is being adopted as a means of transported of both logs and sawn timber in forest areas, right. There has been an increasing trend toward motor truck transportation in logging throughout the world, and even in our country it is not lagging behind, right, especially since the end of Second World War, with the development of trucks which are capable of traveling 40 to 60 kilometers per hour or more, right. The motor trucks are used frequently in transporting the logs direct from felling area to the sawmills or other destinations also. This is notably so in the plains forests, right. The logs are drawn or brought to the trucks and loaded when it is impracticable to drive directly to the logs, right. Then we comes to the next method, that is forest tramways, and these are light railways of small gauge where the motive power is supplied by the draught animals or mains or its own momentum also in the downhill side, okay. Trucks with the wheels run on a road formed of two longitudinal rails laid down at a fixed distance apart to each other, okay. Tramways are usually constructed over level or fairly level ground. In the past, these have been used on a small scale, but with the development of efficient road system and our national railway programs, their use in the forest areas has not been very popular due to high cost of their construction, right? Instead, the railways are playing an exceedingly good role in movement of timber from forest area to sawmills and markets. Main railway lines are there actually; those are passing through the forest areas also, or nearby the forest area also, or sometime nearby the main road also. Those are touching the forest area. Then the material could be transported or loaded to these railway lines also, or rails. Then these are quite sufficient in place of forest tramways, right? As these are no more in use in India, right? So this is all about the land transport, or different methods, and their advantages or sometimes disadvantages also, as I have mentioned in particular method, whichever the feasibility or non-feasibility of any particular system, or those are in use or not in use at present. So I think everything is clear here about the land transport, or the next will be the water transport system, in which we will discuss about various method of transportation, like rafts, then booms, and various other method of transportation. Thank you.